Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another pick a card reading with me. So in today's reading, we're going to be looking into your month of February and seeing whatever energies want to come through. I mean, if you saw the setup that is going on, it is looking insane up in here, but it usually takes, ironically, quite a bit of power to shoot every video. I don't even think about it until I have to go to a new location and set up things. So we're going to be looking into that. Feel free to check out my other channel, Soul Awakening with Shantia, where I uploaded the astrological forecast video. And we're kind of looking to see how things are going. It looks like February will finally be uploading maybe the first video for the moon series. And you'll get to understand your deeper essence of your psychology and your psyche and how that works and operates. And how it impacts your chart, how it impacts the rest of your life. Okay. So yeah, different dynamic here. You might hear some noises outside around me. It is what it is. But this was the best time for me to finally get free to create a video. And I'm excited. So today we're just going to be getting into the readings, and I'll be sharing what I picked up in your meditations, which were relatively brief. I'll get into sharing that. We're not going to be doing any crystal readings. I'm just going to pull cards, pull tarot, share my meditation, and we will pick up the general energy for February. So how is your 2026 going? I hope it's going good. I hope it's going, I hope it's going good for everybody. I'm juggling two computers. I got a camera. I got two cameras, two computers, and a mic here. So this is a little bit more, and just the way that it's set up, it's a little bit more than I'm used to here. But we can work with it. Definitely been busy, busier than I'm used to, more energy than I'm used to, but it's been kind of fun. Like some things are like panning out pretty well that, I don't know, I kind of have a relaxed attitude towards everything, because I'm like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You just move on in life. That's kind of been my, oh, the fridge is on. Sorry about that. That's been sort of my continuous life lesson throughout. Sorry about that. Hopefully it won't be on too long. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the meditation. You can go ahead and pick your group, and then we'll get into your reading. Okay, so introducing the oracle card designs for each group. So group number 1, the energy I was picking up for you was Big Bird. And we'll get into that later, describing why I was picking that up. Group number 2, I was picking up Folds. So we kind of have sort of a interesting abstract energy. For each of these I used AI, and then I used some other images that I went ahead and pasted on top of it just to adjust a little. So yeah, I kind of tweaked it a bit. And then for group number 3, you have this radiant flower at the center. Let's go ahead and start your meditation. Here is your singing bow. All right, let's just go ahead and jump right in, because I'm working with limited time here. So group number 1, if you chose Big Bird, we're going to go ahead and start with you. All right, welcome to the reading. Group number 1, let's just go ahead and fill into the energy. It's been a minute since I've done a reading. Okay, so the energy I was picking up for you was Big Bird. So Big Bird, I honestly didn't watch Sesame Seed Street when I was growing up. I used sesame seed oil though, ironically. For for like moisturizer. It's good for moisturizer, and in foods too. It's delicious. But I did not grow up watching Sesame Seed Street, and I didn't really know anything about Big Bird. But it turns out Big Bird is like a 6-year-old bird. And Big Bird stands out. He has a big presence. But the thing I was seeing sort of like a big triangle energy, and it had wings. So in the month of February, there's going to be a lot of messages that come through, maybe even clarity that comes through. We're going to be experiencing the annular solar return. So I think this is going to be particularly important when it comes to your solar plexus. I was getting solar plexus energy. So there's going to be a boost in confidence, or messages in learning how to harness your confidence better in this world. How does it work and operate? And something I often encourage a lot on this channel is that when it comes to confidence, it shouldn't come from how good you are at something, because, we can be pretty mediocre at things and still thrive in life. It's about really just owning that confidence inside yourself to live a beautiful life. And Source really wants us to have confidence in all aspects of life, not just things that we, may be kind of good at here. We should be confident in the life that we're living. We should move confidently forward in our choices. And that's what Source is trying to do. Source is trying to confidently build up courageous individuals who are bravely moving towards their goals in life, and who feel like they have a sense of a mission, to truth, to honoring themselves, to integrity, ideally. And, sadly, I see a lot of people, when it comes to their life choices and decisions, most of them are based off of how other people will perceive them versus, what really feels good inside of them. So you're going to be getting that clarity in this month of February for like what really feels good in terms of you harnessing your confidence. The other thing I was picking up is I was seeing scrolls. So like when I closed my eyes, went into meditation again, I was like seeing lots of messages. So as far as initiation goes, this is definitely a month of you entering into those mythical libraries where you're receiving this insight from divine, and so this would be a really good month for like recording, journaling, reflecting, just really gathering all of these ideas and insight, because I was seeing sort of a heavy load of information coming through. Big Bird on Sesame Street, that childlike wonder, that neuroplasticity is, it increases with like that childlike wonder. When we don't assume things, but we're always open to learning, then our brain keeps growing. And I think that's like part of the issues with dementia and Alzheimer's and whatnot. Those brain-like diseases, I think, have a lot to do with the fact that people aren't activating enough of that childlike wonder in them to constantly learn. And I think part of it also has to do with pressure. So if we move in the direction of pressure and feeling pressurized by life and letting that change us and form us, there's a natural pressure. But if we just move through life with pressure, at some point our body's going to defect, and it's not going to want to be here or exist anymore. So it's better to choose to want to live or create the life that you really want to create for yourself, and to choose learning, to choose wonder intentionally for yourself. That will always keep you open, having fun. And I find that the people who seem to live a long life, they always seem to have a wonder in their eyes. So definitely embrace that energy. I was getting definitely divine child energy strong. So again, fun learning energy coming through. Sometimes some learning experiences are difficult that we have to go through, and some part of us resist it. But I was getting for this month that you are going to be like wanting to really embrace it. You're like, oh, I really want to learn this. I really want to understand how this works and operates. So really nice. What's interesting is that in this image particularly, he's at the seaside. And usually like when kids go to the ocean, they're super curious. They want to like get their feet in the water, build sand castles in the sand. There's just this sort of excitement. And look at Big Bird. He looks super excited and happy to be there at the ocean. I know that whenever I go visit the ocean, I absolutely love it. I want to dip my feet in. Hopefully if it's warm. If it's cold, probably not. But I want to like look at the waves and stare at it. And you just see this vast horizon spreading out. So February is going to be feeling like that month of possibility for you. Maybe in terms of you making goals or setting goals, you're going to feel like the horizon is expanding, the vastness is expanding. So definitely a month of expansion for you. There may be also an opportunity for you to step up, whether this comes to something you're just wanting to share, be in front of an audience, it could be content creation, anything. This would be a really good month for you to embrace that confidence for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and start pulling some cards and see what else wants to come through for your February 2026. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, interesting. We have Five of Wands, competition, and we have troublemaking. Okay. And we have here the Chariot, willpower. Okay. So what that's telling me is that there could be some sort of conflict showing up. I kind of need to fill into the energy a little bit more to see what wants to come through. I mean, it definitely seems like a challenge or an opportunity perhaps that you're willing to look into and see like where is this taking you. I mean, that looks like a woman. I mean, just the way that person's hair is here on this card. And it looks like she's very proud. I'm getting like Queen Victoria energy, very proud, very set on her ways. There is a show they made available on Netflix and I was watching it. And the Victoria they created in that show was strong-willed, very Aries like energy. She's very strong-willed. She was determined, even though people were like, you're short, you need to listen to us. She was determined to figure out, not on her own, but she was determined to be the leader that she felt called to be. She didn't want to be under the thumb of someone else's manipulation. She wanted to be hiring people who believed in her. She wanted to work with people who believed in her and who saw her as an equal or someone of value versus people trying to control her. So I'm definitely getting that energy. There might be, excess. This is kind of feeling like, because this is like Mars like energy, there might be a little bit of an excess of fiery like energy that is showing up for you. So just watch out for that. This is giving me a little stubborn child energy, which could be a good thing when it comes to us just following our heart and our dreams and doing what we feel called to do. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some more. I'm curious to know what else they want to let us know about this energy here. Okay, so we have the Hangman and we have the Magician. Oh, interesting. So the Hangman is kind of telling you, don't do too much. Definitely don't do too much. I was getting more of a receptive energy, receptive learning energy for this month. I wasn't really getting a lot of action. It was like going to be great for learning. But I'm hearing that they're prepping you or you're prepping for something here, but you just have to wait for the right timing. You have to wait for the right timing for things to unfold. So the Magician is the one who has all the tools to make things happen, to move through or navigate where they're going. This Magician particularly is holding up a cup. He has a shoe and some tools here and a vase of some sort, or probably from the cup. So it looks like this Magician in particularly, when it comes to making choices in their life, they're choosing based off of what feels right in their heart. Interesting. Yeah, so some sort of challenge is definitely showing up in terms of you needing to make the right choice and use the right tools. But they definitely don't want you to be, because this is interesting, because the Hangman is usually like a pause. The Chariot is a progress or movement forward. So I'm kind of wondering what it is they're wanting you to do when it comes to proceeding forward. Let me see. I'm getting something from the horses here. I'm getting a little bit of childlike, the childlike stubbornness. I'm getting a little bit of that coming through. You might need to listen. So sometimes we feel like we're a little headstrong and like we feel as though maybe that's why they're giving me the 6-year-old big bird. Because maybe you feel overly confident about something, but something's telling you, no, not yet. There might actually be someone, because I'm seeing someone giving you advice. Even Queen Victoria in that show, she was a bit stubborn. And sometimes she needed a calmer, more mature energy around her to help direct her. So she wasn't impulsive with her choices, because she was a bit impulsive in the show. And I'm getting this energy of like, don't be too impulsive for this month. That's the message. Don't be too impulsive when it comes to some sort of choice. You might feel like you can handle or do something or take something on, but they're saying don't put in too much energy there. With the Hangman energy, that's saying like rest a little or watch or observe a little, and take maybe micro steps towards the thing. Don't be too overly ambitious is what I'm getting for this month of February. Interesting. Yeah, different dynamic, different energy showing up. Kind of exciting because I've been seeing the same cards for so long. So it's nice to get like different, fresh energy. All right, let's just go ahead and pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through for you guys. Okay, we have here the Gift of Command, Throat Chakra. Oh, very Queen Victoria here. All right, so we got the Gift of Command, Throat Chakra. I feel like it might just be preparation. You might feel as though a little headstrong and like you can take on something before you're ready to take it on, but they're actually training this. They're training your throat chakra. They're training your Gift of Command. And in my astrological forecast video in the intro, I said what commands the inner authority commands the outer authority. So I'm definitely getting that energy here. What is commanding your inner authority? Because there might be a challenge where, you know, it could be a temptation around money. It could be a temptation around anything that's tempting for you. An overindulgence of any of the 7 deadly sins showing up for you where you're needing to command that inner discipline. And it feels like over-eagerness to me, like an over-eagerness to want to take action to do something. But then you're like, actually, they need you to move through this methodically with more maturity, with more intelligence, even though that strong energetic willpower will show up. And I'm willing to bet you this is going to be showing up in the collective, a bit of that inner stubbornness showing up. Yeah, February is definitely churning with a lot of energy. And I definitely plan on making some shorts about it soon. Oh, okay. I just had a whole bunch of cards fall on the floor for you, so we'll just take them. Okay, so the first card we have here is Rebirth. Okay, so you're going through a rebirth. You're rebirthing a new dynamic. So definitely this is a reminder, don't act from your old programming. Because there's going to be a temptation to act from old programming. Here. There might even be, you know how the people call it spiritual ego? There might be like, oh, I'm so great. I know all of the answers. And they're just like, no. Like you need to sit back into, because I was getting for Big Bird, that childlike wonder, that was definitely advice to sit back, to relax, to not, to sit back into that childlike wonder instead of trying to be overly authoritative. So we got Ein adaptability. So that is telling me that you're in adapting, you're going to be asked to adapt. Like I was saying, I was seeing learning. So adapt. This is Danu assurance. They want you to know that you are being reassured that things are working out for your best. You're divinely protected. We have Lakshmi fortune. Yeah, so there might be definitely some sort of temptation showing up in like your material reality, earthly reality, where you're thinking, oh, you know, I'm really wanting things to really take off. Let's say someone comes up to you and they offer you, hey, do you want to become like the manager of our company? And you're like, hold on a minute, I'm not quite qualified. This is where we return back to our humble beginnings and we're like, actually, I want to start from the ground up, and then revisit me in 6 months and we'll see what other position I'm qualified versus me jumping ahead. Like this is definitely an energy of like, don't jump too far ahead. Don't get ahead of yourself. We have Benzai 10 beauty. So another thing that's coming through, since I'm getting that reference to Victoria from that show, she wanted to, like, she felt like she kind of had the right answers when she hired the guy. She's like, oh, you have the answers for me. And he kept telling her, no, you have to do it like this. And she's like, no, but I want you, or I want to do it like this. And he kept telling her, no, you have to do it like this. And eventually she took his advice. So I'm hearing that divine, if you haven't gotten the advice yet, you've probably gotten them in patterns. There's going to be some clarity on advice for you to figure out how to navigate moving forward. So there is progress, with the Chariot, there is some sort of like, there's doors opening, there's progress happening, but they're saying, hold up, like take it one step at a time. You're still learning. You can't rush the process. At one point, Victoria was impulsive and she thought that this woman who was being deceptive and it was working for her mother and working against her was taking part in some like extramarital affairs, and she accused her and sent a doctor because she thought she was pregnant. Turns out that she wasn't pregnant. She actually had a tumor. And so her reputation went down because she had accused this woman of being pregnant when she wasn't. And the doctor had essentially, invaded that woman's personal space. That woman had an illness and was dying. And so Victoria felt really bad about that because she's like, oh my God, I didn't want to hurt you. I really thought the way that things were adding up, it looked a certain way, but it wasn't that. And that's what I'm getting for this month. We got Venzai 10, beauty. So this is a really good month for you to focus on your self-care routine, taking care of yourself, relaxing. And we have Mama Kila, the moon. Listen to your intuition, okay? Don't be too impulsive. Your intuition knows, your inner insight knows, it has a sense for what to do. Don't rush forward. As far as fortune or abundance goes, your abundance is already here. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to rush to, because there's going to be some sort of impulse to like want to take care of it or just like resolve it. And they're like, don't do that. Just take it one bit at a time. You got it. Okay. Let's see what else wants to come through for your month of February. Oh, we got the High Priest. Intend and create. So the High Priest energy, I was getting like that priest-like energy. I'm sorry. I have my notes, but I don't know where they are right now. I'm trying to think where I left them. I think it's somewhere over there. I'm going to get it probably for the next group. So I'm trying to like remember what notes I had. But for the month of February, they're asking you to embody this energy of the High Priest, which means I'm also hearing maybe someone will be coming to you for advice as well. There's a bit of action-oriented energy. There's masculine energy I'm picking up for this month. So you're going to be called to take action, but you're going to be called to take grounded action and insightful action, which means you have a strong intuition. Use that to guide you for this month as far as where you're being directed and how you can help guide others as well, because a High Priest energy is a guide. But there's some beautiful manifestation energy they're wanting you to participate in, which this feels like a beginning of something, manifesting where you're participating and building it. What is manifestation? It's literally just working for it. Manifestation means working for it. You're not wishing for it. You're working to build it, to create it. And some people just have really great work ethic, right? Really great work ethic. And that's what creates their success. That's why I'm not a fan of when people go against celebrities and they're like, oh, well, the rich people built their money off of other people's backs. And I'm like, there's some truth to that, where they're using the system to benefit themselves for sure. But a lot of those people are workaholics. They just work. And not enough time given to their spiritual health or their mental health. So a lot of those people are workaholics. That's how they got it. That's how everyone gets where they got. Even if you're a Nepo baby, you still have to work really hard. Those Nepo babies their parents put a lot of pressure on their kids when they're young with this expectation to create something. As a divine child, you are responsible for taking that pressure off and navigating your life differently. And part of that is that rejection of, I don't know if you want to call it rejection, but it's like a refusal to compromise your integrity according to societal expectations, but instead choosing to follow in alignment with your own personal truth. And that takes courage to do, but it's extremely rewarding, especially as you get older and you're learning how to harness that power more naturally. It becomes more natural for you to do so. Okay, let's go ahead and close out your reading group number 1. A lot of energies are coming through for February. I'm not getting a one singular message here, because I was picking up the high priest energy. The high priest showed up here. I was picking up intuition divine, but for some reason they're pointing to conflict and willpower right away. Okay, so we got Mars. There's your willpower. Mastering your force. Yeah, I mean, it's the year of the fire horse, so maybe we're all going to be feeling a bit of that fiery energy to just jump ahead. Mars in Cancer in the 6th house. Okay, so this is your kind of like your mental hygiene is what I'm hearing. There's a bit of hygienic energy. We got Mars in Cancer. So that's taking me back to the Magician and choosing where you act from. Right? What feels right for you, what you sense is right, what is aligning with your heart sense of, let's do this, let's proceed forward with this choice or decision, or doing it in this way or that way. So there's some action steps you're being called to take. 6th house, all the earth houses are about foundations. They're about building. They're about taking your time, perfecting the process to some degree here with the Virgo energy 6th house. So you're kind of perfecting that routine. So in the month of February, find your routine when it comes to how your action steps are unfolding. So start from the basics: sleep, eat, take care of yourself, take care of your body. That's a huge important foundation. And then everything else will flow. Your mental and emotional stuff will flow, and you'll have the clarity for the choices you're being called to make. Maybe when it comes to some sort of entrepreneurship or stewardship, which I'll talk about that in a video one day, some stewardship action steps you're being called to in February. Building. Okay, we're building from the bottom up here. We're not just rushing into things. So just take the next intuitively right step for you in this month of February. Be receptive to the insight. I'm hearing that you already have the insight, which is kind of interesting. But they're giving me, it's almost like you have the insight. So when February comes, you're going to know by that time what to do already, because it's already going to be coming in. I thought maybe they're saying, oh, this is a month to be more receptive, but they're actually saying you're ready, to take those necessary action steps to build the future, the life that you're wanting to create. This is the time, right? This is the year of the fire horse. Action is going to be very important in terms of moving you forward and helping you make progress in your life. But do not come from old programming. I'm hearing whatever lessons up until now that you've learned, you know better. Okay, you know not to rush the process. You know that routine and basics is very important. So just use those tools. This is the month. He's holding tools. The Magician was holding tools. Use the tools that they've given you. This is your month of training, your Jedi training. How are you going to use your force? This is the month for you to see how you use it, how your power moves into action. But it has to come from a heart-centered space. Okay, that's the end of your reading here, group number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. Okay, so learning my new setup, man. I recorded the group number once, reading in the wrong setting. I was like, oh my goodness, what did I do? Okay, let us continue here. All right, so what's going on for your month of February, group number 2? So the energy I was picking up, I was seeing like a fold, and it was like, so there's like some training that's going on in this month, and I was seeing like this fold. It was trying to come together, and it was trying to stick together like glue. So I see a lot of interesting movement. I see a lot of movement in my readings. And in this reading, I was seeing like, I see like an open and close energy. And I was just getting the sense that you're trying to pull something together, glue it together, or have a firm hold here. just imagine if you're like collapsing hands and you need them to be like stuck together like that. That was the vibe that I was getting for this month. Yeah. So what's interesting is we're getting a bit of like sort of Grand Canyon energy. I wanted to reference Georgia O'Keeffe for some reason. She has sort of that interesting toughness, that American toughness, as far as how she was able to face life, and she lived life very authentically her, which is beautiful. So that's kind of what I wanted the painting to look like, and then I layered some other stuff over it because we were kind of getting a light orb theme for the month of February. But it looks like if you've ever seen the photograph where someone captured, it looks like this essence of smoke or steam coming up within the Grand Canyon, and it looks like a body or a figure or a ghost. And it's very ethereal like energy, but it's also earthy at the same time. So I think that's sort of the vibe they're wanting you to embody for this month of February is, coming from a place of feeling solid in yourself as far as who you are as a person and letting that direct you when it comes to your choices. There is training that's coming in this month that you are not new to by any means. This is something you've been working on your entire life. So when the challenge or the opportunity shows up, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about for this month. But there's some sort of miraculous ethereal energy that's coming through. So it's almost like the parting of the Red Seas. I'm kind of getting that reference as well. When the seas parted, they parted almost miraculously. So if there is like a conflict or an issue that's showing up in the month of February, it's definitely going to be resolved. And I feel like in this month, you're going to feel more content to sit back. Yeah, so definitely for this month, you'll feel more confident that, things are going to work out for you. You'll feel more ethereal, more at peace. You'll be vibing for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and just pull some tarot cards for you guys to see how things are lining up for your February. Okay. Okay, so we got 3 Pentacles, we got laziness, we got dedication. Yeah, there we go. That's the work. We have Page of Swords, open-minded. Be open-minded. Yeah, so be open-minded to the learning or the work that's coming when it comes to this month of February. It's going to feel more earthy and more grounded, as in like you're going to be taking more action steps to steadily move towards your goal. There are times where, I get work for the collective, but it's like very psychological, and forget the physical work. I'm like, you're so psychologically maybe a bit overwhelmed that it's hard to even be in your body. And there are times like that. But for this month, it's going to be more like dedication to work on the things that you have been working on. Could even be a passion project of yours. But there's some learning with the Page of Swords. So there's a bit of newness coming when it comes to this month as far as how you approach it, how that goes. Yeah. So for group number 1, I forgot to say that this is kind of collective energy I was picking up. There was a scroll next to Big Bird. So something about messages and learning. It's going to be important, but not necessarily. I'm not getting a heavy energy here. This feels more like, okay, we're putting in the work and we're learning a little bit every day. You don't need to take note of it. You'll just be tracking it throughout the month. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through. We got Shield Maiden, Make Plans, and Focus. Yeah. So perhaps like when it comes to, things you're working on, this is going to require you to pull out your planner or just pull out some bullet points or a Post-it to just mark down like what it is you're focusing on for this month. Here, we got a sword again. So yeah, there's definitely some mental energy showing up here as far as how we're needing to go. We're needing to be a little bit more strategic, but open. Strategic, but not rigid to how we're approaching things. And that's going to help immensely to guide you as far as your action steps that you're being called to make. Just looking at the lighting. It is what it is. Yeah, so this is a really good month to just like set aside your planner, time to plan and to just set goals for what it is you're wanting to work on a little bit at a time. We have here communion. Yeah, that's the ethereal energy showing up. So this is actually I guess this is a good opportunity for me to talk about stewardship. So I was like chatting with ChatGPT. I just like to bounce ideas, okay? Just bounce ideas off of ChatGPT about entrepreneurship versus stewardship. And I was thinking to myself, there is a distinct difference because I thought I used to relate to more of an entrepreneur mindset, but I think entrepreneur fits more of a systematic definition as far as abundance goes. I don't really follow in alignment with that. Not like I told you guys, I haven't worked a job for 3 years. Okay. It'll be 3 years, February. Exactly. And my life is more focused on stewardship. So that means the way my chart is, I'm not really allowed to attach to things. Like they come and go and they're supposed to, even if it's a business that comes into my hands as far as an opportunity goes, I'm supposed to remain detached from it because I'm meant to go through constant transformations and learn from experiences and move on. I'm not attached to it. Like, even if it comes to like money, money comes and goes out of my life. There is no hoarding here, and there's no need for hoarding because I'm in constant union with divine. And so divine is just always taking care of me. So when one opportunity ends, another starts. So I told someone, as far as my situation now goes, I'm like, I'm going to leave when another opportunity opens up. That's when I'm going to leave. That's how I'll know it's time to go. Just knowing me and the way my life is. And I got Libra energy. So partnership, working with people is part of my dharma karma, so to speak. So that communion energy is about working in community with others, with divine, understanding that things are working out for your best interests. And it always is. It's just that people live in so much fear, they don't realize that. They don't realize that everything's always working out for their best interests at heart. Okay, let's go ahead and pull another card here. So communion also is the equal exchange you have with divine. So my divine work is to live my life, to do my dharma karma work. And then I talk passionately about things that I'm learning with others. And that's not something anyone has to force me to do. You couldn't stop me from wanting to share my ideas because I can't help it. I love it. Okay. Oh, okay. We have here the gift of gratitude, heart chakra. Beautiful. I love this energy. So in this month of February, you're going to be feeling very grateful for what you have. And you're going to be feeling taken care of. There's going to be this light radiating around you from inside of you because of the trust you have with life, the trust you have with divine. This is going to be a month for you to really feel into that essence of your heart, understanding yourself more, understanding the choices you've had to make, understanding what really speaks to your soul, what really aligns with you deeply. So this feels very grounded, it feels very heart-centered, feels very in-body experience of where we're really connecting to that sense of gratitude from deep within, a deep appreciation for life. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. The other groups, I had more cards that came out, so I'll just pull maybe some more, and then we'll pull the Astro dice to see what else wants to come through. Here. Your reading might be... Whoa! I was gonna be like, your reading might be a little faster. Okay. So we have Aaronhod time. We have here Green Tara, salvation. We also have here Ein, adaptability. And we have here Elaine, patterns. And because we have more, we have here Hestia, home. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So strong Cancerian energy poking through here. We get Cancer, maybe a bit of Leo also poking through. We have your Freya, radical acceptance. Sorry. Look, see, I thought the first group too had a bunch that came out. And you have one in common with them. Salvation, radical acceptance, Freya. Yeah, I guess there's a interesting synergy of energy that's coming through for February. You know, if you watched my astrological forecast video, I talked about it. There's still a lot of interesting energy showing up there. Here. And it's showing up here. You know, we got Aaron Hod, which is a reminder of that Saturnian energy of time. Time. Things take time. And there's this radical acceptance that you're being called to embrace for this month as far as time goes. They're wanting you to embrace how time works, how it operates, to appreciate it, to not know that there's no time really is an illusion. There's nothing to rush towards. There's nothing to fast forward to in your life. You can pace it, you can enjoy it, you can soak it up here because you are a divine child. Green Tara salvation. You are here to be a steward of the land, to the people, to help, to be of help in any way that divine calls for you to be of help, you know, however that is. And I'm learning it's random. It's random, but it's not random, right? What is random, really? And all of this stewardship that you're participating in is helping you to break through patterns. The old programming and patterns of the matrix that do not serve you. So you're learning how to see through the patterns, you're learning how to break through the patterns, you're learning how to embrace your divine childishness. You know, there are readings that I did at the beginning of my channel where I talked about who are you becoming? Well, look at the energy showing up now. Here, I started this channel 2022. The energy is showing up now, man. It's here. We've been working towards this. You are the energy of home. Radiant. Beautiful. So this might be a good time just to enjoy your home space. Be at home, taking care of yourself. You know, divine wants you to enjoy being at home. Feeling content. The simple things in life is what I'm getting. And this all brings you to a sort of radical acceptance in life. Like, why do I need to freak out about life or panic about what's to come next when everything just works out as divine allows it to? Like, nothing is on accident, whether it's problems or solutions. Like, it's not an accident. You get to live through the problems and solutions with grace. So we get that warrior radical acceptance showing up because of that. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading group number 2. We got Rahu, Taurus in the 3rd house. Beautiful. So we got that earthy, grounded earthy energy showing up. There's a lesson, you know, we got 3 pentacles, so there's work here. Rahu means like what you're working towards, what you're focusing on, what you're obsessing over. But, you know, in this channel, I don't encourage obsession. I encourage grounded choosing. We have here patterns, 3rd house. So it's like we're learning how to be more grounded. We're learning how to be more present in our body. That's what February is calling for you to do. Be more grounded, be more present in your body. And then psychologically, everything is much more peaceful. The moon is exalted in Taurus. I don't know what the moon is going to be in the upcoming month, but we're getting moon energy. So maybe the moon is going to be in a nice place for the month. But the moon is exalted in Taurus because when we're psychologically at peace, because we're more present in our body and we're at peace with being here on earth, we're not trying to run away from our problems or situations or anything, then we are at peace. That's the peace. It's just learning how to embrace the present moment, learning how to embrace Mother Earth for how she shows up in your life. That is what I'm seeing. So that's the main message I'm getting. You know, if there are other goals or projects you're working on, that's cool. You know, you might have fun working with your hands and doing things with others, but definitely be present in your body is what I'm hearing for this month of February, and you are going to enjoy it all the more. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Group number 2, like, subscribe to support. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. So we're going to look into your month of February and we're going to see what is coming through energetically. So for you, I was picking up this beautiful radiant flower. At first I was getting like light, and I was getting like a light bulb. So usually light bulbs show up when there's clarity or there's like an idea that shows up. But it was interesting when I used AI to do the light bulb with the flower, how it arranged it. It put the light bulb off to the side, sort of in the shadow, and it put the flower in the center. of the image. And the sunflower seems to be connecting to photosynthesis of like that sunlight being directed into it. And the sunflower is absorbing all of this beautiful radiant energy, and it's just like emanating this beauty into the world. And the light bulb feels more like of the subconscious or like an afterthought showing up. So if anything, what will be at the center of your month of February is this clarity as far as your role goals and you being here and you enjoying the ride called life. And it just feels good. It's this energy of like bright radiance, and it just feels good. It doesn't have to look or sound like anything. The light bulb is like that intellectual, maybe where dots are connecting slowly, but maybe it's connecting beautifully, but it's not at this center of what this month has to focus on. Like, you're not needing to focus on getting like grand insight to share with the world. It's more like it's time to just like be me, right? This is this energy of like, it's time to be you, be who you are, shine that beautiful radiant light. And that's just what you're meant to be. Sometimes, I mean, for sure with the air in my chart, I can be very intellectual about things and I forget. Yeah, you gotta just, you can chill. You can chill with this information and just like enjoy being here. And definitely this month is going to remind you of that. Just be here, be present in your life. You don't have to always be seriously taking notes on life and trying to understand things and piece together the ideas. But that's good. A lot of that is psychologically happening, like sort of like subconsciously happening in the background where it's being taken care of. But the more life is reminding you, the more content you are in your body to be here, the more you are in alignment with your purpose to be here, to be square, to be okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting from that beautiful sunflower image. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot, see how your month of February is unfolding. Group number 3. Exact same cards as another group. Interesting. So we got 3 Pentacles, dedicated, or are we being lazy? And then we have here Page of Swords, open-minded, or are we being unfocused? So this is a month to be grounded, to be focused, especially when it comes to like when I see like 2 or even 3 Pentacles, like basics, keep it simple. The simpler you keep it, the less complicated it becomes or needs to become or be. This is definitely a month where like don't complicate things to understand it. Just like kind of take the present moment for what it is and learn from that. Page of Swords is just not as serious of a student like a King of Swords, right? And Page is like, yeah, I'm here to learn some things. But it's sort of a beginner mindset where we're just like taking in, or we're subtly taking things in and understanding how things work, concepts, but we're not trying to so seriously promote ourselves into a managerial position and thinking, okay, I need to know everything, all the specifics and all the details, and it needs to be perfect. Yeah, definitely this is not the month of perfection. So it's actually a really good month to like let go of these ideas around perfection. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through for you. Oh, I apologize. Let's see. Kind of. Oh. Oh, beautiful. We got Shaolin Master. If you watched my astrological forecast video for 2026, I talked about Jedi training. That's going to be the theme of this year. So I actually haven't seen this card too often as of lately, but it's showing up now. So that means that this is the time to kind of get more involved, get more physically involved in what it is divine is calling you to work on. So we have here, be graceful in movement and action. So that is a solid reminder to not rush the process. Take it one step at a time. You have this beautiful light orb energy. So there's the yin and yang, and this is about mastering your force as a Jedi. And then, so definitely willpower, Mars energy, action steps are going to be important in terms of what you're doing, what you're working on. We have this praying mantis here. So the praying mantis knows how to stay balanced. So there's this energy of balance coming through. where it's not too much this or too much that, but we're kind of finding a balance. So life is never calling for you to like let something completely go. You know how sometimes you know what a lot of celebrities do, since they're really good extreme examples, since their life is extreme, is they're workaholics, and then they like rest a lot, like to the point where they let go of their diet. You know, they're not maybe getting enough exercise, or they're overindulging in things because they're doing that to more than likely offset the stress of all the work that they were doing. Yeah, they're doing that to offset all the stress that they were participating in. So definitely the divine is never calling for us to do that. We're not meant to live our life in extremes. Don't do an extreme nothing because you're going to go to the extremely other side of it once you let go of that extreme. You know, that's definitely taking me to Aquarian like energy, where there's just like an extreme perhaps mindset or mentality. What's his name is a really good example. Sun Aquarius in the second house. Wrote a book. Military. He was in the military. He was a Navy SEAL. Like, he lived his life in such extreme. I'll go ahead and put the name on the screen here. But he lived his life in such extreme. David Goggins. He lived his life in such extreme. And he lives his life in constant extreme. Like, he's trying to constantly push. You know, people are like, push it to the max. See, you can surpass your limits. And it's like, we don't need to do all of that. Okay, you just need to be healthy, sound and healthy is good. The breaks, or having the breaks on something in life is important. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through for your February. So dedication, being graceful in movement and action is going to be important. We have here focus, Artemis. Okay, so there is definitely something they're wanting you to focus on for this month. That's going to be the lesson, the thing to work on for this month is just be focused. Be focused. Which means be present. Without I can't do multiple things at the same time. That's why me like having 2 computers on, 2 cameras, and I'm like, it makes me a little anxious. I'm like, if someone else was producing these, this would be a lot easier for me instead of me just doing it all. And I'd love to just like sit there and just talk, but I'm always checking constantly to make sure everything's on and working. The batteries are charged, all that stuff. But with any kind of project, if you take it one step at a time, you can thrive, you can succeed, it can go great. That's definitely what I'm seeing for this month. Like, this can be a very successful month. Just focus on one thing at a time, be present. I find that, oh my goodness, I can't always sometimes I try to listen to audiobooks and like do things at the same time, but I'm not present. I'm not present in my dishwashing. I'm not present in whatever I'm doing while I have the audiobooks on. I forget. I'd be moving things around. And I'm like, where did I put it? Because I wasn't present. I was trying to listen. My attention was on the audiobook. I was talking to someone about that today. I was like, I can't do more than one thing at a time. And people are like, oh, women can multitask so well. I'm like, I don't want to multitask. I can't do it. It's so distracting. Okay, so let's see what else wants to come through for your group. Your February group number 3. All right, we got here, so lesson, third eye chakra, perception, number 4. So this is going to be a really great month for you to tune into your sense perception of your true self. It says here, true self, desire to know. We get the bluebirds. Blue is usually could be quite melancholy like color, or it can be very much connected to our emotions, very emotional energy. So I think there's going to be some beautiful emotions that are flooding through you in this month, where it's helping to direct you towards sound decision making. Is what I'm want to call it. And your third eye very much is going to be activated during this month, where you have the vision. So, oh my gosh, I love PT, Prashant Trivedi's teaching. But he helped to differentiate the difference between imagination and vision. And being a visionary is when we're given like clear insight. We're given like a clear idea or a compass for where we're being called to go in life. Imagination is when you're just kind of like imagining things that you want to do or desires or preferences. But no. Divine gives us a vision. So yeah, I can imagine all I want. By the end of the day, what I imagine, what I can imagine, and what I envision, what vision divine grants me are two different things. And I don't live my life according to my imagination. I live my life according to my vision. Like, I just do what they kind of guide me to do. And trust, because I have that trusting relationship with divine. I'm not doing things that I fantasize about a lot of things that are never going to happen, probably. But I'm at peace with that because I'm like, well, by the end of the day, what matters to me is like my well-being. And if the vision is showing me what's going to help me create that well-being, I'm going to follow that. I'm not going to follow my desires, like my egoic desires. I wouldn't do that. I follow them, I indulge in a little bit of ice cream and cookies from time to time, but by the end of the day, I can only really live with the version of me that follows through with integrity, not the version of me. We have all kind of fantasies. Doesn't mean we're here to fulfill them. That's the difference between celebrities and, I guess, people who aren't celebrities. Is celebrities try to fulfill their fantasies, and that becomes a problem. Other people just try to live life. And then there's the divine child stewardship choice of way of living where, you do things in alignment with your heart, with what's right. So what I want, desire egoic wise and how I actually live are two different things. I live in accordance to wherever divine calls me. I would rather be by myself somewhere up in a cabin in the woods, honestly. But that's not where my life is being called. And I have Libra energy, so I'm always around people. And I got the air signs. So I'm always around people. I'm always like having to work with people. And that's just my life. So I just adjust, I adapt. And guess what? I get to benefit from the community I'm surrounded by, even though I would prefer almost to be alone. That's my fantasy. But like the reality is not that. Reality is like I'm meant to like learn lessons with people. I'm meant to learn to work with people. So I make peace with that. All right, so let's go ahead and roll the Astro dice, and I'll pull any clarifiers if I need to for your reading. Okay, we got Moon Capricorn in the 3rd house. Nice. So strong earthy energies came out for all of the groups. We have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I felt like I had to just choose the day to do a video on the day where people are so busy. So this is definitely giving me this energy of dedication. What are you dedicated to? Moon is like perception. 3rd house could also be perception, insight as well. So they give you a goal, right? So what do we focus on? We focus on the things that we, long-term, looking down the horizon. What are you focused on? What's at the center of your life? If well-being is at the center of your life, okay, that's your horizon. And you stay focused on that. And so long as you stay focused on, well-being as your horizon, everything in your life is going to be about well-being. So you're always going to find a way to live a balanced, nurtured, healthy life that supports your well-being. And that's what they're definitely asking you to focus on for this month. I'm going to go ahead and pull, one other card here just to see what else wants to come through. Oh, okay. We got Izume Humor, 49. So definitely this month, laugh, play. The sunflower energy is definitely the energy of laughing and playing. It's very, that could be literally the Queen of Wands, right? The sunflower. So this is definitely a month for you to own that bright, radiant energy where you get to shine by just being you, not because you're great at something, not because you're the center of attention, but just because it feels good to be alive and it feels good to be in your body and it feels good to be you. This is that month for you. And I'm hearing all of your, the fruits of your labor, your dedication to everything that you've been putting in you're going to see that. You're going to take a moment to recognize it. It's going to help you to just sort of relax more into your body, knowing that you've been putting in all this work, and there's going to be moments of reflection or recognition where you see that. You see that your work is panning out. The work that you've been putting into yourself, into your life, is panning out beautifully to create this radiance. Okay. I hope you have a beautiful February group number 3. Like, subscribe to support. I will see you guys next time. Bye.